What's up, Internet? We are here once again with CoolBoy 401 Real Game, Resident Evil 5 on the Famicom. We're here to start with page 5 with Battleship. The game based off the other game, based off the movie, based off the board game, and it's, I imagine, about as good as that sounds. So, hooray. So let's figure out where we're placing our battleships. And I'll there, and I'll put you there. And I would imagine, as a lot of these games tended to be back in the day, it's gonna cheat. Because lots of these games, when you're playing a computer, they tend to play kind of really lucky. Also, I really have to de-rust from this because it's been like 2 months since I last made one of these videos. I've been busy trying to catch up on reviews and trying to learn live streaming and stuff, but hopefully gonna get a whole swack of these done today. Now, it kind of shows you where your missiles are in that cutscene, I guess to make it more dynamic, but I'm not sure if that actually is a physical indication of where your shots are, because if you miss, you can see your shots going to the left or the right of the ship, but does that actually mean that your shot is too far to the right to something? Like, is that an actual hint to develop a strategy off of? Or is that just wishful thinking on my part? Because theoretically, if we watch that last shot from when I hit the enemy, we hit the tail end, which means this should, if those shots indicate things, miss. That did miss. It was to the right of something, which means we should have to go to the left to hit something. Maybe. I don't know. This is Battleship on the NES. How good can it really be? The explosion effects were not too bad anyway. Actually, if I recall, there's a way to completely cheese this. And the game is getting kind of rather lucky, but that's not the right button. Hold on, I'll get the right button down. Because if I recall, there's a special button that lets you do something else entirely. You sunk my battleship. No, you didn't, but... Okay, is it select? Yes. Game changer. You can, do crap like this. Now, unfortunately, if these things are giving you some sort of indication, it doesn't exactly indicate what crazy shot missed and where. But apparently we missed something with that wide barrage of shots, somehow. But, Battleship. Liam Neeson couldn't save the movie, he certainly couldn't save this game. You know, I actually did have a board game of Star Wars Battleship that had like TIE Fighters and X-Wings and stuff. That was actually genuinely cool. It had sound effects from the movie and everything. It was way better than this game. I guess we'll shoot like that. Oh, we hit something. But, is this all that well made? Is it all that interesting? Not particularly. But, what can you do? It's trying to... Huh. That was kind of wildly lucky. But... did anyone actually watch that movie? Like, I saw that movie and I was like, that is a movie based off a board game. How is that going to work? And then they made a game based off of it, which I want to say was like a mix between a strategy game and like a third-person shooter or some nonsense. I should really try and find a copy of Battleship, the board game, the movie, the game. Because I genuinely want to see what that's like, just to complain about it more than anything. But that's 2 boats down. Oh no, he's got almost 2 of mine, and mine are significantly bigger than his. What? Did they put 2 next to each other? That's peculiar, to say the least. Okay, well, I guess I'll drop one there and miss. I want to see if I can actually beat him now. Because, I mean, I want to make these these little segments about 5 minutes long, but let's see if we can actually beat Battleship, the board game, the movie, the game. Because, I mean, if there's only 4 ships, we're getting close. So unless the game doesn't get ridiculously likey, as it tends to do, as a lot of these games back then tended to do. What? Okay, so I'm confused. Unless I took out its little 2 ship-sized thing there. In which case I'm just gonna randomly start shooting in the corner and hope I get something. Because now this game has gotten real. Because this isn't a game anymore. It's war. For Liam Neeson, we must succeed. Or something. And then the Navy has to go fight Godzilla and lose because they're the Navy and Godzilla's awesome. Oh, you hit my ship. As opposed to any of the other giant gaping spaces you could have shot at. What a surprise. Let's see who wins this, because now I'm invested in this now. Uh-oh. He's targeting in on where my ship could possibly be. I mean, you know, if you play Battleship, even with these, like, crazy giant missiles you can fire, it's really just a matter of shooting every other square and eventually you'll hit everything, because no ship is 1 square big. It'll take a while, but, you know, you're gonna hit everything eventually, and you probably got a better chance than just randomly selecting things. Like I'm doing right now. I'm betting I got maybe 2 turns before he takes that ship out. Miss. Whoop, that was lucky. Miss. Ooh. I mean, there's gotta be something that occupies 4 squares, so we can't possibly occupy these 2, or these 2. Could, however, occupy there. Ah, now we're using logic and we're actually zeroing in. The problem is... Oh, that was close. You sneaky Battleship, the movie, the game, the movie, the game, the board game, the game, miss. Okay. Which means it has to be facing upwards, which means as long as I can survive 3 turns, I've got this. Well, actually, there's a chance I could lose because it's either 1 square down or 1 square up. Oop. It's getting intense. I never thought I'd be so invested in a bad video game rendition of a board game I never really cared for unless it had TIE fighters in it. Oh yeah. King me. That's Battleship, right? Start for next level. Yeah, because that's something I totally want to do. No thanks. Now it's Secret Castle, which is Mylon's Secret Castle. This is a game I'm not super familiar with. I know people tend to hate on this game, and I've seen the Game Center CX episode of this, and it looks like an unfairly difficult game, but it doesn't look like a bad game. Like, every boss takes like 8 more hits than the previous boss, and like even if you maximized your character, the final boss takes something like 100 hits or something stupid, but the world design is pretty interesting because like everything is functionally hidden and you have to really search for it by shooting and hitting everything, which makes me almost sort of reminiscent for another NES game I really want to play, which is Legacy of the Wizard, which was kind of like that. I don't like how the shots are kind of randomized though. Like, you can kind of see that they're shooting upwards. Oh. I guess we're out of there now. Okay, well, we're out of there. Let's go in here. Hints. Find a saw. Okay. Crystal has mysterious power. Weekend grammar. Nothing here. That's where the first boss would be hanging out if we did another thing. What can we do in here? Oh god. But yeah, it's basically just blow bubbles at everything. Now, as much as people like to dump on this game, people are pretty universally in agreement that the quote-unquote sequel to this game, Doki Doki Doremi Fantasy. I was thinking Doki Doki Panic for some reason. Doremi Fantasy on the Super Nintendo is pretty good. I would love to play that someday. I know it was on the Virtual Console, and I think I missed my shot at that. Game over. Now, if I recall, this is a Hudson game. And if you hold left and press start on a Hudson game, usually you tend to restart with where you were. It does not appear to be the case with this game, though. So we're back to blowing bubbles. Why is that one block discolored? This one right here. The world may never know. I don't know what that did, but I got a thing. Yeah, I will say Doremi Fantasy, from what I've seen, is a far more, not only well-polished, but more straightforward game, whereas this one just sort of requires you to sort of randomly guess at stuff, and you might actually succeed, maybe. And I think that was a lot of NES games back in the day, because a lot of NES games were very much sort of trying to wring as much time out of your life as you could possibly get, and sort of encourage purchasing as opposed to rentals. But I think we're actually stuck in here until we get, like, a key or something, and then we can find the door again. Honeycomb! That's a good breakfast cereal. I haven't had honeycomb cereal in forever, though. I got a thing that I think gave me more health. Awesome. So we're already doing better. Hudson B! No! The Hudson B, such a popular icon that it got its own cartoon back in the day. Because it was the 80s and everything did. And ironically, that cartoon got its own game, which featured the legendary Hudson president at the time, Meijin Takahashi, of Master Higgins fame. More hints. I don't want to find a saw, I want this thing. Shrink when you touch the glove. Okay. Now, did anyone see a glove anywhere? Because I didn't. I don't seem to be able to get to the second floor right off, unless we're... I think we have to go inside to find a route to the second floor. Oh yeah, and if you stand outside too long, it gets all lightning-y, which tries to murder you, because... Arcade difficulty. That's just a thing that happens sometimes. We just want to make things unfairly difficult. Because that's fun. I mean, have you ever played the original Adventure Island? That game is, well, basically the epitome of that. It is basically unfair, the game, and for some reason my Xbox One just turned on. I'm not going to bother, because I'm busy doing a thing. I'm wandering around my own secret castle looking for Princess What's-Her-Name and defeating an evil wizard, I think was the plot of this game. I think. Again, my complete understanding of this game comes from Game Center CX, so... No, I wanted that. How do I get up there? I don't see a glove to shrink. Ah, there we go. Secrets! Now we're actually making some kind of progress. Now, this isn't exactly intuitive level design, but again, that's kind of the point back in the day, is to squeeze out as much gameplay as you could, just by completely stumping the players. Oh god, that weird random shot pattern. Is there anything here? Not really, no. Okay, fair enough. I mean, I can keep attacking stuff. Oh, there's a door. No! Oh well. The door will forever remain mysterious. Until I have to play this game for something else. Next we have Dest Earthstar. Oh god, I think I've seen this game. It's kind of vaguely like Star Luster, but less intuitive. Okay, so I think we have to pick a quadrant and then fly to it. I'm not exactly sure what the symbols on, like, it looks like almost a rear view mirror or something on the right hand side with like a planet behind it, but I'm not sure. Okay, now does that mean it's right behind me or does that mean it's in front of me? Ah, it's in front of me, okay. So do we go here? Okay. Orbit achieved. Uninhabited. So that accomplished basically nothing. Terrific. Is there a way to speed up transportation? Weapons? Okay. So start swaps your weapon. I think we just have to basically wait until we get there. That's not super interesting or anything. I mean, it's a nice space screensaver. It's a shame about 70% of the screen is taken up with stuff that isn't necessarily all that useful to understand. Okay, so we gotta try and... There's the planet. Whoa! Let's try that again. Come on, planet, where are you? Do I just need to, like, take a really wide radius, get some, like, space between the planet and me? Let's go. Let's try again. I mean, the music's kinda okay. What? Okay. I guess this planet just doesn't like me. Fair enough. I don't like you very much either, planet. What'd you ever do to me? Space. It's seemingly endless, until you get to the end and then a monkey throws barrels at you. I don't remember the quote, but that was a good episode of Futurama. As were pretty much every episode of Futurama, because Futurama was awesome. I really need to get a hold of the Futurama game. I've only ever seen one copy, though, but that was a very expensive copy. That's because it's not a very easy to find game. I want to shoot a thing with lasers. I'm not a complex person. I just want to find a thing to shoot it with lasers. What? Okay, there we go. What? Do I need to shoot the planet, maybe? No? It seems declaring galactic war on anything doesn't seem to appease this game very much. See, there's a game on the Famicom that you can play on the NES if you've got an adapter called Star Luster that's dirt cheap. That's basically this, but more arcadey and straightforward. I've done a review on it. It was really, really, really good. This game, however, doesn't really appear to be as good. Hey, this thing I can shoot. I have Wait, where are you? What? That looks like the shuttle from Star Wars. I really like that design. The Lambda shuttle, I believe is what it's called. Yay! Okay, I finally shot a thing. That only took 5 minutes. Let's try something a little better. Maybe. I hope. Next is Super Chinese. Which is, in fact, Super Chinese. I believe this game is also called Kung Fu Heroes or something like that. I know this is like the start of the Super Ninja Boys, Super Ninja Brothers series. I'm not super familiar with it. I know it uses a lot of Mario sound effects, though. And it kind of plays a little bit like a dungeon crawler of sorts, because you have to like go through these areas, defeat all the enemies, advance through and try and get to the end. Although it's more like a straightforward beat 'em up than anything. And that's the end of the first level, so now we move on to the next. That jumping's a little awkward, though. And this game actually has a pretty impressive number of enemies, if I recall. It's really hard, though. And the hit detection is, well, it leaves a lot to be desired. Ow. Secret interlace ninja mode, go! Oh no. Let's try again. I can't guarantee I'll get very far, but let's try again. This sounds like a bad 8-bit surf rock. Like you listen to this watching like some 8-bit surfer. Face punch! Face punch! The original One Punch Man. This guy. He knows what's up. Oh god, save me! Magical elevator of continuation. Okay, so next we have 1, 2. Let's try and beat this level. Punch. I'm genuinely not sure if it's defeat enemies or just like survive long enough and then defeat an enemy, because I'm pretty sure defeating an enemy is what triggers it. I'm not sure if it's defeat X number of enemies or if it's like survive X long, then trigger it by defeating an enemy. I genuinely don't know how this game works. I wish I moved a lot faster, and I wish the hit detection was a little better, though. Alright, punch, punch. Ooh. Oh no. I need to get to the door. Yeah, awesome. And I ascend up this dungeon through the magical interdimensional elevator. To 1-3. I think you're a little bit... What? What? I don't understand what that guy just did. I think he weighed me down or something, but... Yeah, 1-up. Awesome. Oh, so much for that 1-up. Let's try and fight that speaker thing. Oh no! Get off of me, speaker thing! I cannot defeat the mighty speaker thing. His boombox powers are too strong. No, you can't seem to beat him. Whoop, whoop, get off me. Oh. Oh, that's it. Alright, let's go to the next one. Which is musician. This is a problem. I don't have a musical bone in my body. Oh, God. Okay, 8-bit bagpipes. I kind of like it. Like 8-bit castanettas, maybe? I don't think techno is actually a location on the map. I might be wrong about this. This was the 80s. Their maps were a little different than they are nowadays. Okay, so we got a bunch of bunnies up until it gets China, then it gets replaced with a pandy bear. Weird. Okay, so Japan is so special, they get their own different music styles. Not bad. Simple beat, but yeah, okay. Boogie. That sounds suspiciously like a song from Outrun. Okay, so they don't have metal, so I'm already offended. I love that we have 8-bit Casio keyboard on here. That makes me happy. Interesting. Let's play with all the things, because I can pretend I understand how this works. Interesting. So that's our record mode, I think. Interesting. Okay, so this is basically a music synthesizer back before there was really any way to record this short of maybe using like a VHS player. So I guess if you wanted to make your own soundtrack, you could have done it on the Famicom. Maybe? That's almost completely worthless nowadays, but interesting. So let's take a look at the games that we've played this time. We played Battleship, a very bad game version of a board game that wasn't all that great to begin with. Milon's Secret Castle is not as horrible a game as people make it out to be, but it's way too obtuse for me to really call it a good game. Destination Earthstar, that's just a poor man's Starluster, and I'm not the biggest Starluster fan ever. Super Chinese is tough, but it's decent. They really need to work on that hit detection, though. And Musician is an interesting piece of music, but it doesn't need anything, really. It just came way before its time, because the only way to really record would be to, like, hold up your cassette player to your TV and, like, record it off that, or, like, through a VHS player, and that's just horrible. So this last little past 5 were kind of all duds, except for maybe Super Chinese, and that's a very simple game. What am I trying to say? Thus far, the past 5 have not made this worth it. This is a bad chunk of 5 games. But come back next week while we'll tackle Super X-Wing. Maybe it's like TIE Fighter. Probably not. But I can hope. Anyway, until next time, peace out, Internet.